Welcome to this channel. The channel is for educations and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So, this is the fourth episode or the part four of this lecture. And previously, in the last lecture, I say that I'm going to talk about the Jing Qi Shen stuff, the Neigong stuff. So, it is fortunate and lucky that I'm still here, be able to share with you. Let me ask you guys a questions before I go start. What is Jing season? What is Jing season? Is that Jing season something like mysterious, something which is beyond us? Like there's a life, a world, a realm which is different from what we live here today, where we hold iPhone, we eat hamburger, we eat pizza. So is Jing season a different world that I shouldn't wear hoodies? I need to have this long beard, tied up my hair, wearing the Chinese Taoist clothes to talk Jing season. What is Jing season? Think about it. What is Jing season? Well, actually, it's very simple. Jing season is just the refinement of body, breathing, and mind. Jing, qi, shen. Okay. Shen is your spirit. Qi, your energy. Jing is your essence. What is it? It's just a refine of your body, breathing, and your mind. That's all. Everybody have it. It's not something kinds of you have to be Taoist, Buddhist, or whatever. So there's Jing Qi Shen. Okay. And you need to be careful. The body, mind, breathing, or body, breathing, mind is something, we use every day. We human, right? If we don't have body, we dead. Where is your Jing Qi Shen? If you don't breathe, you're dead. Where is your Jing Qi Shen? If you're dead, you don't think anymore. So where is your Jing Qi Shen? Well, as human, Jing Qi Shen is just the refinement of the body, breathing, and mind. The key is here. The key is you don't want to treat them as a different thing. Most people here talking Qigong is like talking in some kinds of a twilight zone or whatever world. Okay. No, it is here. It's in you, in me, in all everybody here. Jing Qi Shen is as a refinement of our body, breathing, and mind. Now, you got to watch out. The body is most coarse, most coarse. Right? Using the hand, making a fist, most coarse. And breathing is more fine and subtle breathing. The mind is really subtle. So if you want to study Neigong, how to handle this body, the breathing and mind. That's all. The issue is, do you know the method, the techniques to refine your body, your breathing, your mind, so that you get the Jing Qi Shen? That's the issue. And so if you refine that, like if we are, say, in elementary school, say if you are in the sixth grade, I don't know in America, are you have a sixth grade or something? But when I study in Penang, Malaysia, we have the sixth grade school. That's 50 years ago, right? If you are sixth grade, you know those uh the junior friend, junior classmate who is in the fourth grade. You know what they are studying, right? Same thing with your body, breathing, and mind refinement. People can see you. Okay. So the entire Neigong stuff is the refinement of your body, breathing, and mind. You cannot keeping talking about, oh, 精气神. You look around, all this talking about that. Have you ever see anybody know what the heck is this? People can wear this long Taoist clothes or Buddhist monk clothes when they demonstrate Tai Chi or Shaolin or sit in a meditation. But did they know what is Jing Qi Shen? Or another word, do they know how to refine that the body, breathing, and mind? If you don't, then you never begin. You never start. So you can talk Jing Qi Shen in Silicon Valley here, sitting down here in a very Western way. Can holding iPhone here or holding an iPad here and talk Jing Qi Shen. It's as valid as have to look like a Taoist or a Buddhist monk. Okay? Now, let's start. So the other day, I'm talking about this, you know, the first line of the 1850 Shulin Tao. Collect your yi, union with your son in the equal shoulder stance. Well, you can translate as quiet the mind, return to awareness, standing in the equal shoulder stance. You don't like the name equal shoulder stance, you just call it 一级 kamyong ma, okay? And then you can say, wow, union in the dantian, okay? Or you say, well, 性气 to dantian, your post birth chi and the pre birth chi union together, whatever. Big deal. Those are just a refinement of your body, breathing, and mind. What is the point to read all this thing and then have all the interpretation, but nobody know what it is? Nobody can realize what it is. It's a waste of life. So speaking of waste of life, and you and I are human, we both are equal. We both have life. Don't waste your life. Let me share with you some experience I have before we get into this. It is necessary. So you know that all this Jing Qi and all this thing is not 1,000 years ago or whatever. It's here today. In fact, we're going to use it because now it's the AI era. It's dangerous if we don't know who we are, human. So I like to start with this thing. You know what this book is about? All these books is your Wing Chun concrete and your formula and your pressure point stuff and your pressure point stuff on your 6 point half pole, whatever is here. So I got this book, 1976. Now, why do I tell you this? And in fact, senior, my senior sent me this when my Sifu passed away, and my name is here. This is 1984 until now. How many years? 40 years. So this is 50 years, 40 years stuff. Now, is this to show you off that I have the authentic teaching? I am the grandmaster. I am, I know it all? No. Let me tell you what is this. In the world, because I don't know where's my Sifu's copy anymore. So this is the only complete copy. Do you know what is this? Do you know what is this? Let me share with you. This can be prison, can be hell, Hell, prisons, or can be liberations, the path to liberations. If you take this as this is the grandmaster, this is the top of the Wing Chun riding. This is all this, all that. I want to be a grandmaster. I want to be the best, and so forth. So you bow to me, everything. That is called hell. This is a chain to chain you down to the hell. Serious. If I think that way, for past 50 years, I'm living in hell. But this is not those what you think. For me, this is a pointer, a pointer to liberations. Yes, to liberations. And if you want to talk in the Buddhist way, this is a reminder for who am I in the previous life, as one of my teacher told me. So that's why you see in my book or the other day, I I told you about this song, A Love Before Time. If the sky opened up for me and the mountain disappeared, if the sea ran dry, turned to dust, and the sun refused to rise, I still will find my way by the light I see in your eyes. Okay? That's what it is. It is because of this, even though now it's not 1850, I be able to find it because I determined to know what the heck inside there. Instead of I got this, I'm the superior in the generations. I'm the gatekeeper and whatever. I careless. I want to know what it is. And this is not 1850, but I still find my way. So how to find my way? To find out every verses what it is by the light I see in your eyes. So how is it? It is a journey. Beside my Sifu, that's where I went to study with Sifa Chan, the the monk, and his teacher, Sat Goucham, is a real Shaolin monk from Fujian. Okay, I went to study that because I know, I kind of think, I kind of know that, when I was 16, 17, I kind of know that this is Buddhist stuff. And it is him who referred me to Venerable Xuan Hua, who is a disciple or student of Venerable Xin, the Zen patriarch Xin. And this is the Zen patriarch. He have the transmission, or in the Buddhist is called the mind seal. So the Bodhidharma come to China, it brought the mind, the mind seal meaning verifications from one generation to generations to him. So when he get enlightenment, he get the verification. And when he get enlightenment, he get his verifications. Well, this is the endorsement. Okay. So the Venerable Master received from Elder Master Yuan, Shi Yuan, a document titled The Treasure of the Orthodox Dharma Eyes, the Source of Buddha and Patriarchs. So the other day I shared with you guys that in the Chinese traditions, you always have the endorsement letter. That is the endorsement letter. That is showing that you have the transmissions. Now, I'm not showing you here to say that you see my Sifu is this way, my Sifu is that way. No. Why? Because Venerable Shenhua told me, you need to cultivate your own. Stand on your own feet. In fact, he is the one who told me, if you never experience that, never talk about it. Don't bullshit. Okay? In the hall, in the Buddha's teaching hall. And he do told me, he said, Hendrik, some days when you're clear with this, when you understand all this thing, then it is a time that you leave this world. He told me that. And he told me, he said that, you know, uh, the five poison, 财是名利税, 财 meaning money, 是 meaning the object, material, what you got, mean your fame, your reputations. Li, your benefit, and then your sleeping. You can sleep a lot, whatever, your enjoyment, okay, all of this will be gone because it's impermanent. Some days nobody even know who you are. Your reputation, everything is gone. So he told me, Hendrik, some days when you understand, then as a human, we gone. Okay, it's time for us to leave this world. But only what you share with people who is make better for others. That is what matter. It's like a candle. You burn the candle make a light for everybody. When the candle is completely burned, then it is gone. Because everything is cause and effect and it is impermanent. So I'm in my friend's grave. Just 2 months ago, his anniversary. This is my college buddy. This is uh we both from Indonesia. So I have we both are design engineer, technical person in Silicon Valley. So this is me, and I have over 20 patents. Okay, he have over 200 patent. His worth is over $2 billion. He's one of the founder and the one of the top design engineer in the Silicon Valley. So see, I have 20 over, he have more than 200. Much better than me, a college guy like me from Indonesia. We are both Chinese. This is his buried place. He is so this is close to, Steve Jobs. He buried there, that cemetery. So I tell you this is because, as my Sifu told me, someday when you understand, then it's time for you to live here. When am I going to leave? I don't know. That's why he said, the world I know fades away, but you stay. Okay. Now, just talk about my friend. 6 months before he passed away, he, he's uh, he's younger than me for 1 or 2 years old. He told me, he said, well, Hendrik, he's starting new company always and so forth. And he said, well, why don't you come work with me? I said, no, no, no. And he said, hey, you have enough fun already for so many years. Why don't you come work with me? You don't have to spend a lot of time, just 4 hours a day, okay? In power management and so forth. So I said, no, I retire from technology. And so I asked him, so how about you? When are you going to retire? So he told me, he said, well, Hendrik, I know you want those ancient stuff to continue on. That's your mission of life. Mine is to push the barrier of technology until the day I'm gone from this world. So that's what it is. And he told me this exactly. Hendrik, all this money is not the point. The point is to break the barrier so that the next generations be able to live a better life. That's what in his heart. If you meet him, if you meet him, even though he's a billionaire, like come to my home. Well, Hendrik, you spend too much electric bill here. He saw me with all this light, and then said, so he went out to Costco. In America, you have Costco. He went out to Costco, bought me tons of LED lights. They wanted to change it. So he helped me to change it. So my entire home light changed because he changed it. Okay. If you meet him in Costco, this is what happened. When we go to Costco, he always, because we are electrical engineer, like designer in Silicon Valley. We always go look, oh, is there any new LED lights or so forth, so forth. And what he always do is when you have folks, old folks like us, standing there, try to buy light, he'll say, hey, buy this. This one is cheaper. And this is have a longer life. And then you don't want to waste your electric bill. Oh, this one, this one, this one. So he's like that. So if you meet him in Costco, you don't know he is the billionaire who used to have his private jets, have his many Ferraris. Okay. So he's those type of people. I tell you this is because so you guys know what matter is what good we do to others, or else all that $2 billion are hell, or else this is hell. Don't fall into this trap. This is not kung fu movie, okay? We need to live a good life, especially now the AI era coming, okay? So let's get into the Neigong stuff. So it is according to this book, and this afternoon, somebody called me saying that, oh, Hendrik, I know now you go through all the book. I said, yeah, I know there's so many things here, and I cannot read everything to you, but I'm going to share with you the big picture, so even you don't have to buy the book, and you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So like people in say in Southeast Asia, in say other part of the world that they do not have access to Amazon, they maybe they have lack of funding or anything, they still be able to see from this four lecture that what is going on there, at least in the major direction. They know what it is. Okay. So I want to start with this. This is in the chapter 8. In the realm of human evolution, China developed Chinese Zen or Chan Buddhism from the teaching brought to China by Bodhidharma. Buddhist monk Zhiyi further evolved the Buddha's mindful breathing meditation teaching or Anapanasati, which have a profound impact on Taoist and Confucian practice. These evolutions extend to Wing Chun Neigong. Yes, it is from there. A martial art that undergoing significant changes. It's keeping changing. Nothing is fixed. This book is about, remember I told you in the other lecture, the Chinese about change, keeping changing, keeping evolve. Okay? It's nothing that there's no script that to tell you the ultimate. There's no ultimate. Change is the ultimate. Okay? So Zhiyi, this is Zhiyi. This is Monk Zhiyi who lived 1,000, almost 1,500 years ago. So he influenced the Chinese Taoist and Buddhist and Confucian practice. Now, I say this today is not to get you into trap in the twilight zone, okay, or trap in the toilet, okay, or become like is that what cycle, a chain that put you in the prison or hell, okay? It's for liberations. So a new era of studying, practicing, and researching Wing Chun Neigong is inevitable. I don't say that I know it all. I say that this is the beginning. Okay? This approach integrates modern science and scientific tracking to enhance understanding and achieve better result in developing the recall, the mind, or consciousness aware state, Soxing, to support recovery. Okay, if you want recovery, you need to Soxing, or else you will not get into the deep recovery. While an afford mindfulness focused state, 专一, support healing. If you want Xing Qi to 丹田, If you not arrive at effortless mindfulness focus state, forget about it. You will not be able to do it. So you need to have the sourcing, recall your mind back before you can get into focus, mindfulness focus. And it has to be effortless. Okay. This approach aims to improve the daily life of individual in the era of artificial intelligence, which is highly demand in mental activity by improving oxygen carbon dioxide balance, improving heart rate variability, lowering blood pressure, and fostering mindfulness. This practice could support individual in managing the cognitive and emotional demand of technology driven lifestyle. For me and my friends' time is gone. 1980s until now, we design, we push the technology. Their life is gone. You guys' life, it begin now, is this. And you don't want to be controlled by AI. Like these few days, some Wing Chun friends is just thinking I'm using AI to judge somebody, which they don't understand what I'm talking about. AI is just a tools. You need to get your mind, call your mind back, or else then you become the slave of AI. And you know that in the in this technology driven lifestyle in the AI world, you will suffer because you will be dragging by the materialistic stuff by AI. And it is a big concern. We don't have the job if we is using the AI as a judge. We want to use them as a tools. They are our slave. We are not their slave. So that's why I start with this. So what is this? Recall the mind. Or what is this effortless mindful focus state? Well, this is this is in today's English language. In the ancient, it will be this. In ancient Chinese, will be 集意会神. Okay, gather your intention back and meeting with your Shen, union with your Shen. In today's, is just call yourself, call your conscious back. You want to live in now, you have to call yourself back. If you cannot call yourself back, you cannot live in now. You want to be mindful, you have to first call yourself back. And then only after that, you can do the union in Dantian, your chi stuff. See, call yourself back is before, is prior to your Shen stuff, because calling yourself back is the first step of your mind refinement or your mind, body, breathing refinement. If you don't have this, your mind is scattering, your consciousness scattering all over. And there's no way you can get into this chi stuff. Got it? So you want to live with it, okay? You don't want to think about this as a far, far, far away in some galaxy far away. No, it's here. You learn Wing Chun, you need to get the Neigong, you want to live here, okay? Now, so in the Wing Chun Neigong, the first thing we need is the accurate and detailed mindset. So that's why it called Xiu Lim Tao sometime. They say, well, little idea. No, it's not little idea. It is about call yourself back, call your conscious back, and then you are accurate and you details minded. That's what Xiu Lim Tao mean. Okay, call yourself back. So this thing, the accurate and detailed mindset, call yourself back, and then you refine it, and then you get to the sun, is actually the teaching from the teaching of 峨眉十二庄. Okay, so here, entire body should not exert unnecessary force. Allow breathing and energy to flow naturally. Savoring small details is the key to success. If you want to savoring small details, you better call yourself back first, and so only then you can accurately details mindset. Have that. Now this is 峨眉十二庄. Is there any difficult, any mysterious stuff? No. That's what I share with you. The entire game is only what? To refine your body, breathing, and mind. So here is said, entire body should not exert unnecessary force. That's how you refine your body. Allow breathing and chi to flow naturally. Allow your breathing to flow naturally. That is how you refine your breathing. Savoring small details is the key to success. That's how you refine your mind. Call yourself back. And then you start to be able to see many things in details and accurate. Okay? So in Wing Chun Neigong, it is, you have to begin with that. So that's why in the Wing Chun, we, uh, we, we say that when you do Xiu Lim Tao, everything has to be clear. So everybody say, oh, it have to be dim dim cheng. Every point have to be clear. That's what it is. Refine your body, refine your breathing, refine your mind. But the may have a different way to doing it, to express it, and another style to do it. And that's why Wing Chun is from May because of this. He said, savoring small details is the key to success. 细味小智妙绝方. This 小, 修林讨小. This is 修林讨小. So in the Wing Chun 1850, it said the essence of details trainings. So it's savoring small details, just that. Okay, don't look at it someday and don't argue. Oh, it is not from Mei, it's from Mei. What ridiculous. Okay, so you want to go to hell or prison, get locked up, cycle, what chain up? Use this as a liberations. Once you know it, you say, okay, there's Mei. Okay, this is the teaching of Mei, so I'm going to use it to liberate the entire Xulin Tao sets. Okay, and of course there are many things in this chapter and everything, but I tell you the really core, right? Because I have to consider that if you are from Southeast Asia, you're from Africa, you are from different part of the world, you might not you know, get hold of my book, but you know what it is, the key point, okay? Now, the Buddhist connection. So from this lecture, other lecture, that is from Shaolin Short Strike, 峨眉十二庄, that's where Wing Chun is from, but 峨眉十二庄 is belong to the Buddhist, and Taoist. And you look at that, this is the Taoist. Okay. They're the same stuff. To gain a deeper understanding of shared principle between Taoist Buddhism and Neigong teaching, for example, so it says that this is in the book, uh, The Secret Golden Flower. The saint passed down and all this thing, and then he talk about Confucius advised know when to halt, to calm down, okay, know when to calm. And then the Buddha emphasized on contemplate the mind. And the Lao Tzu is inner contemplating. Whatever you're contemplating, you want to start with one thing. Call yourself back. If you don't call yourself back, you got nothing. What are you going to use for to calm down? What are you going to use to contemplate? Okay. So here is a coming and contemplating. Samatha and vipassana are not secret knowledge, but Buddhist teaching. Well, so this is in the Secret of Golden Flower, Tao, a Taoist book. Okay. So together, this teaching describe the same physiological and mental conditions that Buddhists refer as calming, samatha, a foundation state of balance, stillness, and integrations. So that's all. That is the bottom line. Okay, don't go far away because you just make yourself confused and lost. So it's just simple. Remember, 精气神 and whatever your internal neigong is just a refinement of your body, your breathing, and your mind. Your body is more coarse, easy to know. Your mind, your breathing is more subtle. Your mind is the most subtle, most difficult to handle. Okay? So remember that. Now, you want to know all this technology of refining your mind, your body, breathing, and mind. You need to get the ancient scripture. You want to talk about the Chinese Neigong? You need to get the ancient scripture, which is so you know the ancient, teaching, very details. So again, this is Mang Zhiyi's scripture here. He's teaching. So Mang Zhiyi's teaching. So Zhiyi's teaching had been influencing the Chinese. It doesn't matter your Taoist, your Neigong, your Qigong, your Chinese medicine, or whatever, have influenced that for 1,400 years. So so you want to get the core to understand what it is. And the first thing in order to understand this teaching, ancient teaching, you need to know the differences within nature pace practice. Meaning, in a nature pace, you refine your body, your breathing, your mind. Okay? It is not stand-alone practice. Stand-alone practice like today. Or you want to do a deep breathing, put one palm on your chest and then one palm on your lower abdomen, and then you take a deep breath and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you stop breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you stop breathing, hold breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are stand alone. Those are not the Neigong of the Chinese, the root of it. Even though stand-alone practice has been also practiced in the Chinese Neigong, but one one actually need to develop this refinement of the body, breathing, and mind via natural pace before you can touch this. Otherwise, you're going to brute force this thing. How can you know your diaphragm? Like the other day, we talked about our diaphragm. How can you know your diaphragm if you do not really have this natural pace practice where you can have a sense of your entire body, breathing, and mind? You just go down there, you say, well, I want to do a deep breathing. So everybody sit down there. The instructor say, one, inhale, wait, two, exhale. Well, are you sure that everybody body can do that? Or everybody have their own rhythm? So natural praise practice is that because the entire body have a different rhythm. You need to follow everyone's rhythm before you get into it. There's no one size fit all. Okay. So in today's science, this is a standalone practice. This is the natural practice. Yes, in today's science, we can explain that. We can study that. So the natural pace is brain pathway is brain to body, and the deep breathing, the standalone deep breathing is body and brain. Okay, so rule of breath, like for example in the breathing, casual factor, deliberate manipulations of breath drives the effect, and here in the natural pace is actually uh, anchoring, breath observed naturally, effect raised from calm awareness. That's the natural pace. They are different. So for the long-term effect, if you get that, you say, well, greater autonomic flexibility, improve diaphragm, stronger vagal tone. And for the natural, is higher baseline heart rate variability, lower resting heart rate, emotional resilience. So this is kinds of like temporary, like you can use it localization or temporary. Okay, since start with the body, this is the entire holistic or comprehensive thing. So Neigong is belong to this, and after that you can have some techniques to do this, but you have to develop your body this first. Got it? Say sometimes you want to take a deep breath because of a certain thing. Well, that is this. But it's very different that if you have this training, refine your body, mind, body, breathing, mind training in the nature place, or you don't have it. So that take a deep breath, have a different result inside there. And if you don't have this, you have a much more risk to screw up yourself if you continue doing that. Who knows how you handle your diaphragm, for example, right? Hopefully you understand. People from this, they actually be able to very naturally handle their diaphragm. They will not brute force it. Over here, if you don't train this way, you don't even know your diaphragm, and you're going to end up brute forcing. Take a deep breath. It turns out that you feel suffocate. When people here take a deep breath, it just really relax. Got it? You got to be there, or else you don't know they are different. So Qigong is not you sitting down there, you just key eye, or you say, well, take the deep breath, your Qi will sink down, forget about it. You always have to refine your body, your breathing, your mind. That is the foundations if you want to have real Qigong. And the first thing you're going to face is Your body has to lose down, your breathing has to be natural, and your mind, you have to be able to call yourself back. That's the kindergarten. If you don't get there, you never train real Qigong. Okay? So you get to the three level of calming practice. The first is recall your mind back, right? I just share with you. The second is effortless mindful focus state. The third is quiet, silent, mindful state. This is advanced state. When people have this advanced state, their breathing can drop down to say 1 repetition per minute. Like they go hibernations. Or in other words, is they get into samadhi. It's too far from us, right? The recall mind back and effortless mindful focus state, everybody can do it. This one, you need a lot of time to develop it. Okay? Now, so you need to adjust your body, breathing, mind. Remember, this is the more coarse, this is more subtle, this is very subtle. And so he said, body, breath, and mind are interconnected. Adjustment to the body, breath, and mind should be considered together, not separate, because it is in the natural pace. It is the natural pace. And this is the teaching of Zhi 1,400 years ago. Okay? And there are differences in technique at the beginning, middle, and the end of the practice. This difference manifests in feature of practice when entering, abiding in, and coming out meditations. Okay? For instance, when entering stillness, the body requires specific physical adjustment. Similarly, when abiding outside meditator as absorption while walking, standing, starting, all these things, I just make a note for you here, I think. This principle is crucial for meditation or Qigong practice. The daily lifestyle of practitioner must support the practitioner quality and effective result. For instance, healing Neigong practice require a change in daily habit to facilitate healing. One cannot practice for 2 hours a day and then have the rest of 22 hours filled with high excitement. So calling yourself back, effortless mindfulness. If you practice an hour or 2 hours per day, you can have a feeling. You want to get into this quiet, silence, mindful state. You see all those Buddhist monks for 3, 4 hours per day of meditation. And then when they come out with meditation in daily life, they are really careful with it. If they are not careful with their daily life, they have excitement, they will never be able to get back to the states. That's the reality. If you get into here, effortless mindful focus state, you can sing qi to dan tian. You just you practice this for say 3 months. Okay, you get there. Or diligently every day, 2 hours and so forth. The next thing you go to watch a porno movie and you're going to have sex or anything, you go back, you say, shit, I cannot have my effortless mindful focus anymore. And some, if you get too excited, you couldn't even call your mind back. You're sitting down there, you say, shit, how come my dantian, my chi doesn't go down anymore? And then you look at it and say, well, I must do it. And then you say, shit, why is my breathing? It's so coarse. It doesn't go natural. Well, why am I getting into this thing? Stand alone practice of breathing. Why can't I get this brain to body top down? You can. That's just human. And then when you practice this, okay, like Ziyi say, adjustment to sleep pattern. If one sleep too much and one destroy any meditation skill, one should regulate and subdue sleep, cause one's spiritual energy to be clear and one's mind mindful through the bright and pure. Well, that is like in today's science, you have this circadian clock. When you need to sleep or when you have too much sleep or too less sleep, you're going to screw yourself. This is your hormones. Now we know. So if you really want Qigong, that's what it is. Okay? You want really Neigong, that it is. And the Buddha has to teach of the six Dharma, six wonderful Dharma gates. So the six is the counting. You heard about people talking about counting breathing. The second is following the breathing. The third is settling. Settling actually is in the state of this quiet, silent mindfulness state. Settling meaning that the breathing settle so that it go down to like a one repetition per minute. Okay, no kidding. Now the entire body, and of course, if you get into that, you have to be careful when you get into or get out of your practice because you don't want to shock your body. And then you shock your body, then you're going to create problems, sickness in your body. Okay. And the fourth is contemplating, returning, and sixth purification. This is very advanced stuff. Yes, in this world, there are still people who have this. Okay. So after the counting, it's not just right now, everybody learning this mindfulness, counting. No, you cannot count. Your counting will not work if you don't have this. If you don't have the natural pace practice to refine your body, your breathing, and your mind first. You need to get there before you count, okay? Especially your breathing. If your breathing is not get into the subtle breathing, you will not work. It doesn't work even you count. It only agitate you because you are like doing it in the standalone manner, not the entire body, breathing, mind anymore. Okay? So that is what happened. Okay, so that is you need to know. Okay, so whatever in the book, uh, what happened? Okay, good. Whatever book, all the book, I know is a lot of things. And in the when you follow your breathing, after your counting, you follow your breathing, then you are aware of your breath entering, aware of your breath existing, meaning aware of your inhale and exhale, aware of the durations of your inhale and exhale, and then you are aware of the breath actually permeate to the entire body. Okay, and then keeping going down, going down, going down. There's 16 state there. So for the usually qigong, as soon as you can aware of the breath, the durations of the exhale, inhale, that is when you are already at this. You are already at the beginning of effortless mindful focus. Okay. Now, when you aware of the breath permeate the entire body, that is for sure you were here already. So we know really clearly which stage you are because you want to train it, you want to develop it, right? So that is the first four. And for the healing Qigong, if you don't get to the aware of the breath is long and short the durations, and aware of the breath permeate the entire body, uh, healing usually you need to have the aware of the breath permeate the entire body, or else it's not going to work well. Okay, it's not the level is not deep enough for the healing to work. For the recovery and resting, deep resting, of course, 1, 2 is good enough. And here, uh, know the aware of the breath is long or short. That is better than recovering. But for healing, there's still a level need to go. Got it? So like this is for there are many ways to sensing. See, your breathing is what you need to sense. And when you detect that breathing, you can either detect that breathing, that the breath inhale, exhale directly or indirectly via your body. So this is indirectly detect the body sensations of movement at the drawn locations. This is indirectly uh, uh, detects the breathing. Okay, via the motions of the body, the sensations of the body, not directly detect the uh, the 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 breath, the air coming up and in and out. So now, no, just make it clear. You detect the air coming in or the air going out. There's direct detection. Indirect detection is detect the body sensations of or movement at this area. There are many ways, many areas in the body you can detect that. So you have the breathing, which is the object, and then you got the area of detection or sensing, and then you have your mind. You need to know that if you want to even practice the counting of breath. Like you said, mindfulness. I want to count that breath. Okay, breath. So are you detect it directly or indirectly? That's one thing. Where? Where is the best for you? Which is the most comfortable? You need to answer that question. If you don't answer that questions, nobody know. You are not going to be able to do that. Somebody say, "Well, I detect from my nose straight." Like over here. Well, you can see that many people when they detect it from here, they end up stressed out. Their head gets so painful or stressed. The wrong place. Not everybody uh, there's no one size fit all. Okay, understand? Not one size fit all, and also even one person at different time, they might want to change their locations or the direct or indirect way of breathing, detecting the breathing. You need that. Okay, and we talk about the entire thing. Like your detection and so forth. So you have the subtle breathing. If you want to count breathing, you better get your breathing to subtle breathing. Okay, so subtle breathing is characterized by several qualities: effortless, light, fine, slow, deep, and steady in rhythm. Okay, if you don't get that, you will not be able to do the counting, because when you do the counting, you're going to get yourself stressed. Okay, so beside your breathing is your object, right? You aware or you're mindful of your breathing, and you need to know where do you detect that breathing, which part of your body you want to are you going to do indirect detection or direct detections? And if your breathing is not that, you get stressed. If your location is wrong, you get stressed. If you use too much attention or focus, you get stressed, and you will never enter into the states of calling yourself back, all this thing. Now, uh, so before this subtle breathings, uh, there's a natural light breathing. So breathing naturally and effortlessly without any exertions in strength in any part of the body is known as natural light breathing. So, so even you want to get to subtle breathing, to prepare to condition your breathing so that you can counting your breathing. There's so many things you need to know. It's not like today you will sit down there. I just count my breathing. Well, is your breathing windy breathing or common breathing or what breathing? Like yesterday in yesterday lecture, I said about you have the common breathing, your windy breathing, and your subtle breathing. If it is a windy breathing, you count that windy breathing, you actually get your cell actually scattered. Okay, if you count that get that common breathing, you will be tired, feeling tired. But if you count the subtle breathing, then that's where you come down. Okay. So if you count the windy breathing, your entire mind will be your mind will be scattering. So all this breathing you need to know. Remember? So again, I say, if you want to count breathing, this is the basic. The first thing is that you have to condition, tune your breathing until it's a subtle breathing, or at least minimum your natural light breathing. And then you decide, do I want to directly sense my the breath, the air come out from my nose, or get in and get into my nose directly, the sensations, or you feel the air in and out, or you want to feel, like for example, your chest area, okay, it move when you're in and out, was this type of thing, etc., etc. Remember? Understand? Okay. So if you want to talk about Xing Qi to Dantian or pay attention to Dantian, well, that is for actually for treatment uh what they call that, treatment of disorder. So Xing Qi of Dantian, or you pay attention to Dantian, or you anchor at Dantian, is a means of uh actually treatment of disorder. You don't use it all the time. Okay. And of course, in this book, I get into the like the science of it. Take a snapshot. You guys here, you can read it. Okay. Now get into the Xiu Lim Tao. The Xiu Lim Tao Neigong principle. Okay, so usually the Confucians is called it nurture chi, the Taoists is called it refined chi, the martial art people is called it moving the chi, or whatever it is. Okay, so the first thing, right? Remember this thing? There's Y1 and Y5. Okay, so let's look at it. After you have, I share with you so many prerequisites, right? Only that you can come here to understand this. Otherwise, okay. So we said that gather intention unified with Chun. Awareness is the practice of recalling the mind. Recall yourself back. And so guarding intention, the classic phase, gather intention, unify the sun while standing in the shoulder stand, practice recalling the mind to present moment. When the practitioner stand and relax upright posture gently, focus attention inward, two process unfold together. You have a new all this, you can explain it with today's science while you're doing this. But you need to have your breathing into the subtle first. If you're not, your body, your breathing, your mind is not actually conditions to a basic level, in the natural pace, forget about it. Okay. Now, and then when you get into the Wi-Fi unite at the Dantian, okay, so there's in the effortless mindfulness focus state. Okay, so in the classic, the united Dantian is Xing Qi to Dantian. So that's what it is, okay? So if you be able to refine your body, breathing, and mind to a certain degree, all this you can achieve. And when you're at the states of calling yourself back, you'll be able to achieve this number one. When in the state of you'll be able to enforce mindful focus, get into that state or anchoring, then you can do this. And as for the modern physiology, you guys can take a snapshot there. You can have the DNV and your HRV, all this thing. And you have tons of this nervous system effect, meditations, natural pace, how the mechanism and the heart rate variability, like the flight and fly and all this thing. Okay, effect to your blood vessels, all this. Now we talk about so many things, but we are beginners. So Neigong, a principle-based system, emphasize mastering fundamental practice before progress to more advanced training. If you do not know, have never know how to do the basic refine of your body, your breathing, and your mind, there's nothing you can do. Okay, so Neigong, a principle-based system, emphasize mastering fundamental practice before progressing to more advanced training. Beginners should focus on mastering the basic. Unlike quick fix, Neigong benefit accumulate over time through patient, consistent, and repeated work during proper basic training. One could view the various type of the Neigong, Qigong, martial art as extension variations of the evolution of teaching practice discussed in chapter 3. Okay, so chapter 3 is the Zhiyi teaching 1,400 years ago. There's nothing new there. Human is human. 1,400 years is 1,400 years. Still human is human. Okay, but you need to start with that. That's why I say again, refine your body, your breathing, your mind, the basic. Now, so you know how to handle your diaphragm, your pelvic floor muscle, during exhale naturally and forcefully relax your lower abs, all those things, okay? And then the scientific tracking you need it. Why? If you look at the like Ma Li Tang, he already said here, when breath rate slow down to 4 times a minute, it marked the beginning of Qigong development. So once get the subtle breathing, and then be able even like the counting the breathing, when the breathing go down to 4 minutes, 4 repetition per minute, then you can know that okay, the chi will surface. If you don't have that, forget about it. Like today, everybody is saying that, oh yeah, I have this chi. I went to one weekend sessions or 7-day workshop and then have the chi. Are you sure? So that's why you need to have a scientific tracking. If you don't have scientific tracking, who the hell know what was going on? Okay. And scientific tracking provide measurable and repeatable way to evaluate body mind mind body practice. Physiological marker offer objective indicate of nervous system activity, stress response, and homeostatic balance. And you need to track this: your heart rate, your heart rate variability, and your breathing. Heart rate, respiration rate, and your stress, which is your heart rate variability reverse. So stress score is the heart rate variability, the inverse of heart rate variability. When the stress score is low, that means your heart rate variability is increasing. So you need to know this. Otherwise, we have no idea. Oh, what do you mean? Or what do you mean that you already get into the calling the mind state? How do you know? Well, if you have calling your statement, you know that your heart rate is going to drop, your heart rate is going to drop, your stress rate is going to drop. Now, if you get into, say, the effortless mindfulness state, effortless mindfulness state, effortless mindfulness state, your breathing is going to drop. Your breathing is going to drop. Human, okay? So, like once you get into the effortless mindful state, you see the breathing drop to 6 and then drop down to say 4 or something like that. You want to say 心气 to 丹田, you have to get that. You cannot BS other people. The worst is we bullshit ourselves. I have qigong, but we really don't have it. We cannot benefit ourselves. What's the point, right? Same thing. You're breathing. So that's what it is on the Qigong, Neigong stuff. Hopefully you get a big picture. Of course, you want to learn it, you for sure you need to have some people to coach you. You can read my book. There's all kinds of stuff so that you understand what's going on, what's the teaching of the ancient, but you still need an experienced guy to share with you. Like today in this YouTube, there's so many things I taught you that it's only the guy who have experience know. Without it, nobody know what the heck's going on, right? So this is not saying that I know it all. There's many people in this world know. The Buddhist monk and everything, they know. I'm saying here today, giving this lecture, this is Wing Chun, and we know the details so that you know what to look for. And then, like me, I know these details. I read the Ziyi's book. So who am I going to see? That's why I have my sifu in Indonesia, the venerable Fa Chan. I can ask him. He's from Shaolin. When I want to have different thing, he said, "Well, you go to ask Venerable Xian Hua." That's what it is. So this is a journey, okay? A journey to liberation. The more you know, the more you say, "Well, it's like this, right?" Now, up to now, you say, "Well, this so hard, so difficult, Hendrik," right? So many things, right? I give you a bonus today. The teaching of Wing Chun, real teaching of Wing Chun. So you all know how to call yourself back. How about that? Do it, practice it every day, okay? Uh, for you free. Remember, we are like candle. Our job is to share so that everybody can live better. There are many ways to get into calling yourself back. There are many ways. Wing Chun have one ways, not via breathing, not via breathing. See, I told you just now, right? Breathing is your object. You need to tune that into what? Into subtle breathing before you can count the breathing, right? And you need to know which part of your body you sense that thing. Now I teach you the Wing Chun way. I shouldn't say I teach you, because it's not mine. I'm not the guy who designed that. I share with you, brothers, sisters, on this Wing Chun way from our ancestor. Okay? Here on, when you practice Yu Lim Tao or you do whatever thing, remember this. So where's the secret note? This is the secret. Eyes must track hand, hand must track heart or mind, hand issue from heart. This is the secret of calling yourself back, your conscious back. This is Wing Chun. No other style have this. This is our style. So when you practice Yu Lim Tao, you do this. I explain to you first. So remember, okay? Eyes must track hand, hand must track heart, and hand issue from heart. In today's Wing Chun, everybody say hand issue from heart, hand issue from heart, but they're missing these two things, so they never get into the state of calling yourself back. They never get into the state of 心气度丹田. So, okay, the first thing, you have two consciousness actually. When you call yourself back, you want these two consciousness to work together. When these two consciousness work together or two awareness work together, that is the calling yourself back or the very basic beginning of mindfulness. Okay? Now, hand must track heart, hand issue from heart. This is one consciousness or one awareness. I must track hand is the second consciousness. These two consciousness, when they come together, they work together, synchronize together. That is the state you call yourself back. So how is this? Say I do 小念頭, okay? So here he said, hand must track heart. Hand issue from heart. So hand must track the heart. Heart meaning your mind, okay? Your mind. Hand issue from heart. Say I do a tan sao. Of course, this hand have to link with my heart, not this heart, okay? Your mind, okay? Hand link with your mind, or in Chinese call it heart, right? Hand link with your mind, and hand is actually driving or issuing from your mind, okay? So that is one consciousness. When you do this, hand link to your hand track, no hand link to your heart and hand issue from heart. When you do this, okay, hand must track the heart or linking with your heart and hand issue from heart. So hand track the heart and hand is actually issue from heart. You are using one consciousness. For example, when you're driving a car, you're driving forward, you pay attention, you don't really pay attention, you're conscious about that, right? That's one consciousness. Now, the second, eyes must track the hand. That is the second consciousness. So this analogy to driving a car, you hold the steering wheel, you drive the car forward. Of course, it's tracking with your issue from your heart, and whatever you do is tracking by your heart, right? So there's this two Y pre 2 and Y pre 3. That's one thing. When you drive a car, okay, issue. You want to drive forward is issue from your heart, but then you have a feedback. Okay. Hand must track, okay, your heart, meaning that you track, what your heart want to do. If you drive differently, then your heart say, hey man, this is not what I want. I want to go here, make correction. Okay. So there is one consciousness. Now, another consciousness is I watching this hand. So it's like when you drive this car, your hand in the driving wheel, you drive this, your mind say go forward, and then your consciousness always tracking. Is that am I going forward or I just go sideways crazy? No, right? Track forward. The second mind is the mind who know the surrounding. If a car cut you from here, you know that is the second heart, the second of your mind. So when you want to call your conscious back, the analogy like in the car, the driving one, the feedback on, are you driving in the proper position, proper directions, your hand feeling, all those things is one consciousness. The consciousness of be able, somebody talk to you, you know while you're driving, the car driving around you, and including your car going forward, know that the environmental, the three-dimensional environmental consciousness in the second. You have to have these two merged together. So when I do my tan sao, I have this feedback on my heart, my hand issue from heart and feedback and so forth. So I drive my hand out. However, I also know the environment with the hand. It's like you have some guy on the top see the entire thing. One is I drive it out, I have a feedback, the feedback here. And then the second consciousness is there's a consciousness who know the entire thing. When these two get together, you call yourself back already. If you miss any one of those, your mind is not there. For example, it's dangerous, right? If you drive, you don't know the environment in driving. You know you're going to get into accident. Or if you drive, you look at the car, oh, Ferrari and everything, you forgot, you don't know about, your direction you want to go. The conscious about that. Now you're going to get accident. So the two heart, as soon as they are not together, you're going to look for trouble. That is called your mind. Your mind is scattered. You do not call yourself back. In today's world, it's so bad is because I'm talking with the phone, I'm driving my car. So tell me, the driving consciousness with the feedback, is it still there? The environment consciousness, is that there? It's dangerous, right? Because it cut away your driving consciousness and your environment consciousness. Your consciousness can be here, but that two consciousness, the driving consciousness, which I call let's name the hand must track heart, hand issue from heart. We call this is the driving consciousness, and we call this the environment consciousness to make it easy for everybody. So like this is for your driving the wheel and make sure that you go forward, proper direction. This one is the one who see the entire thing. So the driving consciousness and this is the environment consciousness. Is these two consciousness, the driving and the environment, they are not matched, or they are not linked together or work together. Then your mind is scattering. You're gonna miss something. In Xiu Tao, we want this driving and environment is one. So don't do what the Bruce Lee said, total concentration. That is just have a tunnel visions. Over here, you don't have the tunnel vision. You don't have to use much force or strength. Like you drive a car, do you purposely using strength for this driving consciousness? No, you just know, okay, I just drive it. Okay, I know the entire thing. Use that thing, okay? That is called calling yourself back. If you can do that every day, then you are mindful. You are living in now. If you miss any one of the driving consciousness or the environment aware environment consciousness, you know you are not living in now. You are not mindfulness anyway. You're somewhere else. Okay. Hopefully that you understand what I'm saying. Now you can use it. You're Wing Chuners. This is the Wing Chun teaching. It's not mine. Use it every day in your work, in your life, in your eating. When you're eating, your driving consciousness, you know what you eat, you know how to put your spoon properly to your mouth, and you know the environment, including your eating. Then you are calling yourself back while you are eating. When you do everything, so in the Buddhist, the Zhiyi 1,400 years ago, as just now I shared with you, okay, as just now I shared with you on this thing. The principle is crucial for meditator or Neigong practitioner. The daily lifestyle of the practitioner must support the practice to yield quality and effective result. For instance, healing Neigong practice require a change in daily habit to facilitate healing. One cannot practice for 2 hours a day and then have the rest of 22 hours filled with high excitement. So just make it easy. You want to drive a car, drive safe, you better have these two together. And we human, so as the Buddha said, all human have Buddha nature. We actually have that capability of calling ourselves back naturally. The issue is right now more of this phone, more of this and that, that actually scattering you. So at the AI world right now, if you go have this high-tech stuff, you don't call yourself back, you cannot get into the effortless uh, 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 mindfulness. You practically will not be able to solve anything because you will never get insight. You need to call yourself back and then get into the effortless mindfulness where you can do Xing Qi to Dan Tian or you can gain insight on the thing you study. You got it? Hopefully I make this point for you. Okay. Your habit, your behavior will be out of control if you do not have this together. If you want to change yourself, these two, the driving consciousness and your environment consciousness have to come together. Then you are the boss of this body. Or else somebody say a words, you completely blown up, then you no longer there. For example, you go watching movie. Okay, before the movie start, you sit down there, right? Your driving consciousness is watching that movie, and then you still know the environment. right? Now, 10 minutes within that movie, 10 minutes in that movie, guess what? You are already being following whatever the movies inside there. Okay, the place in the movies. You lost conscious on your environment. Your driving consciousness is already being lit by whatever over there. The easy thing is like I always say, like you watch a scary movie, you get into that. Or you watch a porno movie, you get into the movie already. Then you're completely being pulled away. Okay, you completely dilute already. You are no longer you. You are no longer mindful. So our ancestor in Wing Chun, when they designed the Xulin Tao, okay, your driving consciousness, make sure you have it. Make sure your environmental consciousness have it. Just relax doing it. That's how Wing Chun calling yourself back. And you can use it in, anything you do every day. And when you practice your Xulin Tao, see. So this is what I like to share with you. There's so many things I like to share with you, but it's so much. There's so many cases. Okay. So no, I'm not against anybody, even people against me or whatever they say, research in China. I'm not. I just try to get this thing out. If this thing is not out, the entire thing lost. You are Wing Chuners. This is your property. Why don't you develop it to help your daily life? So this is for you today. I'm whining and telling you a lot of things. Why at this lecture for? Because all of these things have to be one together with your daily life, or else it never works.